Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Y'all come in. We gotta talk. I know. The Diddy stuff has been keeping us so busy. But baby, we gotta talk about the way Prince William has made a fool of himself. And we love to see it. See, here's the problem. Here's the thing. Here's what makes me laugh. Ha, 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 ha. Every time William tries to stunt on Harry, he is reminded that all of his friends, all of his influence, all of everything is bought and paid for. Baby, you passing out night shifts so Disney can air your dumb documentary of the homeless where you talking about, I wish there was some way I could help those that are in poverty. I wish. As you sit there and your $1 billion loafers, I would say your $1 billion scalp oil, but we all know that William is praying and hoping that hair grow back. He ain't putting nothing on that scalp. Even though if he was more friendly with black women, we would tell him, you need to put some castor oil with some rosemary in it on your scalp and it'll grow back. I mean, maybe the advice is a few years too late, but you get the point, right? Someone's grandmama could have taught him how to stimulate the hair follicles using ancient African herbs and berries. But let me get to my point, Sussex Squad, because this is hilarious. There has been so much that has happened, in the royal family, and all of it has been bad. See, here's the thing. The only thing that is ever real to them is when they are making completely asinine headlines on Meghan and Harry. Listen, Meghan and Harry are not perfect. No human is, and I have no problem saying that. But as far as humans on the earth, fine. They deserve to exist, and if they can figure out a way to flourish, and it looks like they have, then go ahead, let them flourish, okay? But here's the thing. I don't think William knows that, but the palace knows. I don't think William knows this, but the palace knows that every headline they've ever put out about Harry and Meghan has been a projection of what's going on with William and Kate. William really thinks he's shaking the table. William really believes the people of England love him. William really believes he is a sex symbol and the sexiest bald man alive. William believes this. He don't know. He believes it. That's why he always thinks he's dunking on Harry and he's always embarrassing himself. But the courtiers know it's BS. The courtiers know that Australia basically booed Charles. They know that nobody wants to be in the Commonwealth. They know Camilla is an embarrassment, a low-class, uncouth bigot who laughs at other people's cultures, that would even dare host and show respect to a glorified side Joan that always looks like she's looking for her apple wine and her bag of oats. I'm just saying. At the end of it, Camilla is mean. She is cruel. She is classless. She is uncouth. But she is Charles's spirit animal. And that's why he keeps her around. That, and she is the only woman around that can never upstage him. But she is a classless person, but she is Charles's spirit animal. And that's why Charles indulges her, because he wishes he could have some of that freedom that Camilla does. But William, right? I think Charles is smart enough to know that it is all facade, but he doesn't care. He's fine to keep the charade going. William actually really thinks he's making waves. He literally bought his way into every contact that Harry ever had. Every celebrity, they have to be black, of course, because William needs to prove he likes black people. They have to be black, but he's invited them all to the Earthshot Prize. And the thing is, unlike the petty royal family, they're not coming for William. They're coming because, yeah, why not? Why can't we make a difference? This is actually important. It is going to be in South Africa. We'll support. The royal family, they spit on the Invictus Games. They didn't care about their special. They don't care about anything except their ego. So they don't understand that when people accept their invitations, it's not to dunk on Harry or to show favoritism to William. They do it because, yeah, this is the right thing to do, right? But William wouldn't know nothing about that. When Bob Iger, the guy at Disney, wants to become a knight. Listen, I don't give a damn what that racist, colonialist system that calls itself the United Kingdom, the British royal family, actually ever thinks about anything. A knighthood is really not my thing, but Bob Iger always wanted to be a knight. So when they offered him a knighthood, he said, okay, I'll do it. We can talk about Disney and Quiet on Set and all that other stuff later. But it doesn't mean anything because they only want that knighthood. And they'll show you a dumb documentary, William. But the problem is, numbers don't lie. Who's watching that documentary? Who cares about that documentary? Now the only thing that's trending in the documentary is that you made a fool of yourself. And you look out of touch. And you look stupid. You did all this stuff. Again, I think this is super, super funny. They said William's Homeless documentary is an abject failure with low viewership. You see, your money can buy you friends. Your money can buy you people to stand in a picture. But your money can never command the attention that your mother and your brother naturally has. And that's what really gets you, isn't it? That's what gets you. Listen to this. They said Prince William's Homeless documentary is an abject failure with low viewership. They said Prince William's campaign to end homelessness has spawned a TV documentary described by one reviewer, now this is in the UK press, as dismal television. Although the show, We Can End Homelessness, focuses on an indisputably good cause, it got a rough ride in the media after it was broadcast on October 30th, 2024, with many suggesting a contradiction bearing in mind his privilege and multiple homes. It's not just his multiple homes. He has a $40 billion empire. To think in that documentary, William stood there and said, what can I do to help? How about you literally just hand out 10 lottery tickets, golden tickets like Willy Wonka? How many was it? 7, 10? Hand out those tickets. And everybody you give a ticket to, build them a house and promise them a middle-class salary for 3 years. Literally, I'm going to build you a house. How much a house is over in the UK? For $300,000, or buy you a house, right? Or pay your rent. Even better. I'll pay your rent for 5 years and I'm going to give you 3 years of wages and I'll pay it every week as if because your job is to find a way to help others in need like you. Just do it to 10 families. That is a few pennies for them. And it could make a world of difference, not just for the 10 families, but also for the security you gave them, people going to school, college, jobs. And even if you say your job is to figure out how to help others like you, watch how big, but you don't want to do that. There's something about the wealthy and they don't get it, especially William. You act like your money is off the table. What can I do? Your privilege is based off of taxpayers' money. Your privilege is based off of exploiting even the very poor. The very poor in the UK, they still have to pay into your coffer. And you're sitting there saying, what can I do? Dummy, give some of the money back. And by some, I mean 0.00000000000000001% of what you've earned from the money you've made. But let's keep going. They said, it all suggests William might have an uphill battle ahead of him as he works to carve out a legacy during his time as next in line to the throne. Marianne Levy for iNews was perhaps most scathing in her assessment, arguing the royals needed to grapple with the political causes behind rising levels of homelessness. They said, for if homelessness in the UK is to end, we need to know why it is an all-time high. We need to know about cutbacks to social services, how the NHS is struggling to provide frontline care, the burden of GPs, general practitioners. We need to know about investment in the building of social housing. Of these issues and many more that have contributed to the crisis, William has announced his intention to solve. There is nothing. It made for dismal TV. The contributors talked to hope. But what this documentary was missing was anger. William is clearly committed to his cause, please, but he simply cannot galvanize his audience at the ballot box, in the workplace, and in the wider social arena to fix this inhumane problem once and for all. As an hour of factual television that was supposed to prove it's possible to end homelessness, this documentary was an abject failure. Let me tell you something. I 100% agree with her, but I would go so far as to say it's not that it was it's not that it was an abject failure just for that. It's just if we look into the reasons why the documentary failed, if we looked into the causes of homelessness and why there's inequity and why this, then it would naturally call into question William and his wealth, and if he deserves his station and deserves his privilege and deserves his wealth, or if that money, that $500 million they give them every year, should be spread out to the people. And the answer is, of course he doesn't deserve it. Of course the money should go down, but they don't want anybody to know that. So they have to look around. Much like when it comes to King Charles and slavery in the U.S. and the British monarchy. In the U.S., actually, you don't want to admit or take a closer look, because if you did, you would have a lot to account for. Get this. The Daily Mail said wealthy landlord Prince William and his homeless documentary failed to impress. They said William's plan doesn't involve giving people housing. Prince William has an ambitious new initiative. He wants to eradicate homelessness in the UK within 5 years. Well, this is the US, the Daily Mail. Well, jolly good for him. What could be more worthwhile than giving the homeless and the destitute somewhere safe and warm to sleep at night, instead of taking their chances on the cold and dirty streets of our cities? Oh, if only there was someone who had castles and mansions and vast country estates and multi-bedroom palaces and the Duchy of Cornwall property portfolio worth about $1 billion at his disposal. Someone who could throw open his arms and doors to his inherited privilege and perhaps eradicate the problem in one Kensington swoop. As one of the wealthiest landowners in the country, trying to help those who haven't got a carpet tile to call their own, Prince William is not unaware of the paradox of his position. Williams actually made his own statement. He said, why else would I be here if I'm not using this role properly to help people who are in need? The fact that William doesn't even realize, dummy, your money is the help they need. God. He said, I don't believe we should be living with homelessness in the 21st century. I feel like with my platform, I should be delivering change. The sad thing is, William has such a dumb understanding of what the actual issue is and I don't even think it's dumb. I think he doesn't care. I think it's willful ignorance. This was nothing but a photo op, and him trying to sound smart. Of course, when it comes to royal documentaries, we all know this means exactly the opposite. Participants are usually muffed in a headlock of deference, and in this instance, restricted to a meticulously curated view of only what Prince William wants to be viewed. There was footage of William looking concerned at meetings, William looking concerned as he spoke to homeless people, and William looking super concerned as he marched around with a folder under his arm. 6 minutes in, and he's already wearing a comedy apron, dishing out roast potatoes at a charity Christmas lunch, and talking about how he was inspired by the memory of his mother. Exclusive and personal photographs of William and Diana visiting a homeless shelter duly provided. Sometimes one cannot accept the feeling that we are all bystanders in a monumental existential struggle between William and Harry, to be known henceforth as Mommy Loved Me Best. That was funny. And sometimes it does feel like that, but I will say that Harry never called his mom paranoid. Harry never got the panorama interview pulled down. Harry never disparaged his mom's memory. They said in the first 2 parts broadcast last night, viewers were fed some sobering but unchallenged statistics. 350 people across Britain now lack a permanent home. 80,000 families are living in temporary accommodation. And since 2019, more than 109 homes in the private rental sector have received Section 21 eviction notice. This suggests further homelessness, even though the Labour government will abolish these notices next year. William did not comment directly on these figures, nor were the complex political and societal reasons behind them analyzed or discussed. William also said to a homeless person in his face, Wayne, how do we get the national psyche of people to understand the human story of why people might be street homeless? Yeah, William. How? Like, oh. Listen, this is what the Daily Mail closed in saying. Of course he means well, but at the end of part 1, I was no more clear about how the prince was going to achieve his Homewards objective, except that he seemed keen of providing an umbrella for well-established homeless organizations such as the Salvation Army, Shelter, and the Big Issue in Centerport. If I can be the glue that will hold you together, listen. They all looked at him and they said, I don't think they were too impressed. William is a lazy, oafish idiot, and it disgusts me how he continuously is allowed to make a mockery and disrespect people who have real issues that he can help. And that, if you really want to look at the way the money's spent, that he plays a big role in. Imagine your leech that literally is living off the tax dollars you had to pay before you became homeless and while you were working, literally saying, what can we do? You guys, listen. What's up, Sussex Wall? What y'all think about this? Let me know in the comments, because I am tired, and it looks like the UK press is tired too. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.